Good afternoon. I'm going to call this meeting of the Older Adult Advisory Committee. I'm trying to get the name straight. We have a lot of new folks today, so we're going to spend some time getting to know each other and talking about ideas for the future. But first, let's start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Don't worry about the computer screens and stuff in front of you. We don't really use them for this committee. We mail you out paper agendas, so just follow along on the paper agenda. Next, we're going to have the attendance roll call. So I'm going to ask Adriana to call the roll. And to speak on the microphones, you push the little button that's on the front and your little red light turns on. And we ask that you do use the microphones because we are recording and this is a public meeting and we want everybody to be able to hear. All right?
Suzanne Latour.
Present.
Carol Weisman.
Present.
Betty Bishop.
Present.
Nils Omholt.
Present.
Barbara Vansickle.
Present.
Phil Randazzo.
Present.
Vito Pianello.
Present.
Carol Thompson.
Present.
Marcia Relier.
Present.
Jennifer Hamill.
Present.
Carol Weidenbach.
Present.
Joe Silbernagel.
Present.
Kathy Western.
Present.
Rochelle Fuquay. Moira Smith.
Here. Present.
Roy Wilson.
Present.
We do have two members sitting off in front of us. So we just have to remember that you guys have to speak up because we don't have a microphone right in front of you, but they are also part of the committee. So the first thing, we're going to go through this agenda. The first thing is that we always do is adopt the agenda, and then we approve the minutes of the last meeting, which I know is a little strange because some of you weren't here at the last meeting, but we need to do that as part of the form for our meeting. So adoption of the agenda. I would take a motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
So we have, that's good, I can't read that far away, and Kathy Western. All right, any further discussion about adopting the agenda? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. All right, next comes approval of the minutes. I would accept a motion to approve the minutes of November 23rd, 2021.
I'll make a motion. I'll second it.
Who moved? I'm sorry.
Phil Randazzo, second.
Yeah, who moved?
Vito.
Vito moved. You're going to be my mover, aren't you?
You're going to remember my name.
I know, I just can't see you from this angle. It's a little weird. All right, any discussion on approval of the minutes? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We are a public body, and this is a public meeting, so we have two opportunities for public participation. The first opportunity for public participation is for those who wish to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes on any item which is on today's agenda. The second opportunity for public participation is for those who wish to speak on any issue, and that happens later in the meeting. So do we have anyone wishing to speak during public participation? Anyone wishing to speak? Third and final time? Okay, public participation is done. Just a note on public participation for members of the board here, that that's a time for the public to speak, and so we don't engage during public participation. It's their time to speak. They can speak in this first session on whatever is on the agenda, but we don't respond to them, we don't debate them, it's their time to speak. So we hold that sacred. And then the second time for public participation, people can speak on anything they want to speak on. But again, we don't engage. It's their time to speak. All right. So the first item, number 7 under committee items, is an overview of the Older Adult Advisory Committee, which is basically the question of why are you all here? the county commission wanted a way, excuse me, to reach out into the community, to hear what's going on, what concerns people have, what ideas people have, and each county commissioner is allowed to select a person from their district to be a member of the committee. And what the purpose is for you to come here to learn things that the county's doing or other agencies are doing and take that back to groups that you're a part of. And in return, you're supposed to be out there, our eyes and ears in the older American community, finding out what people are thinking, what are they talking about, what needs are they expressing that they may need that the county can do something about, and bring that back to us. So I'm hopeful that this is an interactive committee and that we can both receive information and take information back out. Does anybody have any questions about that? If not, what I would like to do is move to the item 7B, which is to, oh, I'm sorry. In the last one, there's this formal process we got to do. We need a motion to receive and file my little report there.
Motion.
Is there support? All right. All those in favor of receiving and filing the report, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. It's a little thing we got to do to be a public meeting. Sorry. What I would like to do now is to actually go around the room and have people introduce themselves. We have a lot of new people here. So if you could say your name, what community you're from, and maybe what organizational affiliations you have, so that we know like what groups we're covering with information. So if that's okay for people to do, let's start with my motion man down there.
Oh, thank you. Vito Pianello. Live in Shelby Township, been in Macomb County for over 40 years. I work for First State Bank. I'm a commercial lender, been in the banking business for over 20 years. Been on the committee now for, I think, about 4 years. A great committee to be part of, and happy to be part of it again.
Phil Randazzo. Yes, I've been in the committee 4 years. A 60-year resident of Shelby Township. I'm the Veterans Event Coordinator for Shelby Township Plus Macomb County. I help the veterans get their compensations years later. There's a memorial that you'll see right in front of the county building here at the door. I worked on that for 10 years and finally put that to fruition so that the people of Macomb County can honor the KIAs, the ones who died in the global war and terror. Their names are all on there. They're all from Macomb County. And I guess that's about it. You know, if anybody has any loved ones or friends that their veteran needs any kind of assistance, okay, you give me a call on that one. Thank you.
Great. Marsha?
Hi, I'm Marcia Relier. I've been on the committee since the beginning as well. I represent part of Clinton Township and the city of Mount Clemens. I am semi-retired, but I work part-time as a gerontologist for CARE of Southeastern Michigan and give a lot of presentations regarding brain fitness to our seniors at different senior centers and senior living places, and as well as giving some professional trainings on the older adult and mental health, mental illness, and substance misuse. So I'm still active out there and enjoying retirement as well. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jennifer Hamill, and I have lived in Michigan my whole life. However, this is my first day here on the committee, so I'm very welcome, and thank you for all for letting me come in here, and I hope I can contribute. I live in Harrison Township. I'm going to be representing my city. I have been a respiratory therapist for the last 35 years. I've worked in several hospitals here in Michigan, Beaumont Hospital, St. John Macomb, I spent a little time out in Arizona where I worked in hospitals. I worked for a doctor's office, and I also have worked in home care. I have a lot of experience in dealing with the aging population. I enjoy them quite a bit, and I hope that I can be bringing in some really good feedback to you folks, so we can learn what people need, what their needs are, and how I can go back and get them involved in any way possible. I know there's so many people that have so much to offer. They have so much potential. So I hope I can be a good part of that. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nils Umholt. I'm retired from Chrysler Corporation. I moved to Sterling Heights. I lived there for over 50 years. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. And I was a senior manager in the Scientific Labs and Proving Grounds at Chrysler.
Hi, I'm Barbara Van Sickle, and I've been a resident of Michigan my entire life. Live currently in Sterling Heights, have for 28 years. I love to volunteer. My background was a lot in human resources, so anything that really involves people is important to me, and dogs, actually. I'm doing some stuff with Leader Dog that really fills my soul, being around those wonderful animals that are going to do good things. But right now, with the focus on older people, I'm a member of Trinity Lutheran Church, and we are very involved in a Health Matters Committee. And from that, we've done something with Stephen Ministry. And those things have really opened your eyes to see what's going on out there and the help that people need today. So I have volunteered for quite a few years, but there's nothing like giving back to your community, and I really appreciate being here. Thank you.
Thank you. Adriana, would you just introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Adriana DiMaggio. I'm the legislative analyst to the Board of Commissioners here. You'll see me at the meetings, calling the roll, recording the minutes for you. I'll also be assisting in creating all of your agendas. So if you have any questions at all, need any help, please feel free to contact me.
And my name is Julie Matuzik, and I'm the county commissioner one of the county commissioners that represents Clinton Township. I sort of represent the central and southern part of Clinton Township. This is my first term on the county commission. I apparently retired and lost my mind and ran for county commission, but it's good. It's all good. And this is, I've taken over as chair of this committee. Chairperson Don Brown was chairing it. He's got other things he needs to do, so he gave me the opportunity to chair this, and I'm very excited about it. So thank you.
Hi, my name is, excuse me, Carol Weidenbach, and this is my 4th year on the committee. I am from Fraser. I'm retired, but my background has been in long-term care pharmacy. And I'm also a member of the AAA 1B Advisory Committee. And that's about it.
My name is Betty Bishop, and this is my 2nd time being on the board. And I work for Wayne County. I'm retired now, and I just enjoy being on this committee. That's why I stayed on it and came back again.
We're glad you did.
So hello to everyone.
Hi, I'm Carol Thompson. I'm from Chesterfield, been there for 26 years. I own a private duty home care company, which we help people age in place in their homes. I am also on the Area on Aging Advisory Council. I'm in several groups that pertain to the senior community. I'm in something called SCAN, Senior Coordinating and Networking. So I work a lot with the senior community. I'm also very involved with the Sterling Heights Chamber, an ambassador for the chamber, and I have been on here for 3.5 years. I came in the middle of the first year.
Well, I'm the 3rd Carol here. I'm Carol Wiseman. I've lived in Warren for 21 years. I'm originally from Toledo, Ohio. Went to college in University of Buffalo and then came here afterward. Taught for a few years at Regina High School when it was in Harper Woods, and then joined my husband in business, and we're semi-retired right now from a small print shop. I live in Warren. I'm 9 houses south of Sterling Heights, between Shaner and Hoover. And I belong to a book club in the Fraser Library, which I love that Fraser Library. It's so convenient for me. My commissioner, my song has asked me, because I'm sort of, I guess I'm the neighborhood busybody. I'm always out walking around talking to everybody and finding out what's going on and trying to help people in any way I can. And that's about all I can tell you. I'm not really involved in a lot of activities right now. I gave a lot of that up about 10 years ago when I had some serious surgery, but I'd like to get involved again. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Kathy Western, and I'm delighted to be starting my 3rd term on the Older Adult Advisory Committee. I represent District 13, which today is most of Macomb Township. I've lived in Macomb Township for 20-some years, and I'm involved there through the Parks and Recreation Department and Senior Citizens Department primarily. And this is the most important activity in the community that I do in my retirement. So thank you, everybody, for being here.
My name is Suzanne Latour, go by Sue. I've been in Macomb County for 22 years. I recently moved down to the south end of Warren. I'm very involved in community efforts. I'm on the board of MCRES, Macomb County Emergency Rotating Shelter Team, which we are opening up our new house, hopefully, within the next couple months for women and children right here in Mount Clemens. I'm on the board of Blessing Brigade Bags, which is hygiene for the homeless and people in need. I'm currently the executive director down at Harvest Time Christian Fellowship at 9 and Van Dyke. We do a lot of outreach. We do about 75,000 pounds of food we give out every month. About 800 meals we do for the community. We deal with the single moms, the poor families, and a lot of seniors. And that's what I like to do.
Hi, I'm Joe Silbernagle. I'm a 50-year resident of Macomb County, 49 of that in Clinton Township. When I worked, I was 26 years at the county here in planning department, and 18 years at Clinton Township, and I represent District 12, which is Julie's district here. And in my former life, I was involved with the Community Development Block Grant Program, which funded programs like McRest and Care House and a number of programs at the county level and with Clinton Township also. And in my spare time, I coach girls tennis at Chippewa Valley. I've done that for 22 years.
Roy?
Name's Roy Wilson. Lived in Sterling Heights for 50 years. Retired from Ford Motor Company a long time ago, and just was wondering what I could do to help the community and volunteering with this, and find out what the goals are. Thanks.
I'm Moira Smith, and I'm a lifelong Michigan resident. I retired from Disability Determination Services for Social Security after 35 years of working there. So I've worked a long time with the public, and I'm one of those people that are just out everywhere, and the past 3 or 4 years since I've been retired, I've gotten out there and met a lot of the seniors in the Sterling Heights area. I'm active in the park at Dodge Park, which is right out the door from me, and so I'm one of the active people. And so I know there are residents in the senior community in Macomb County who are interested in being physically active. I started the bike club for Sterling Heights Rec Center for the seniors. I'm also interested in gardening, so I've been active with that, and I've met a lot of seniors that way. I'm active with 3 churches in our community. They're Catholic churches. So I know a lot of people from those places too, and I've become acutely aware in the last year there's a lot of people that are very lonesome. Part of it is because of what's been going on. There's been more isolation. So the more people, I've just gotten to know a lot of people, and if there's any way I can help, my county commissioner next door to us has recruited me into this, and I'm just kind of finding out what you're all about and how I can help.
Great. Well, thank you, everybody. We certainly have a wealth of experience and contacts and people willing to do good things in this room, so I'm really excited about that. In 2 agenda items from now, we're going to talk about the things we want to do. But first, I need a motion to receive and file our introductions.
So moved. Marcia.
Marcia?
I'll second.
Vito? Any further discussion on that? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The next item on our agenda is actually the meeting schedule, which is on page 11 of your packet. We meet here on Tuesdays at 3 p.m. and the dates are January 25th, February 22nd, March 22nd, April 26th, May 24th, June 28th, July 26th. We take August off. It's Michigan after all. September 27th, we don't meet in October, and we meet in November 29th, and then we take December off as well. It's always a busy month. So I would accept a motion to adopt the schedule as printed.
I'll make a motion.
Vito
Second.
moves. Any further discussion on this? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Fabulous. That's our meeting schedule. Next, we get to the actual meat of this meeting, if you will. One of the things we always try to do is bring people in, either from departments or organizations that have information that may be valuable to us. And so what I would like to hear from you all is ideas for topics, things you want to learn about, things you think there's information that would be helpful to you, and we can figure out organizations, department heads, whomever, to sort of come in and offer ideas. One idea you have in front of you, the Traffic Safety Association of Macomb. They do really interesting work in terms of keeping us all safe, and they provide some interesting ideas. Phil suggested that we bring in the Interfaith Volunteer Caregivers, who provide so much support into the community. If you're not familiar with them, it's a good organization to get to know. There's a whole host of other things that people we could bring in. So I guess I would sort of like to hear your ideas. So because we're not using the fancy computer system, just raise your hand and I'll call on you.
I don't know the name of the woman sitting next to you, but
Carol.
She said she was on the AAA 1B.
Mm-hmm.
That is an amazing organization. I worked with them when I was volunteering at Beaumont, and what they can offer is overwhelming. They have a wonderful magazine that was called Connect, and I think they're going to do it again this year. That has more resources all in one place like I've never seen before. But I applaud them for what they do, how they do it, and their work in the community is amazing.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Carol is on that as well.
They're excellent, excellent organization.
And I'm actually the official representative from Macomb County on the board. So that would be great, having the Area Agency on Aging 1B come in and talk to us about what they do.
Promoting Jim McGuire, well, he retired. Jim used to come all the time.
Yeah. He's retired now.
Yeah,
and Katie's taking over.
Katie took over, yeah.
Okay. Other suggestions for topics you'd like to see or hear about, learn about? Kathy?
Julie, I think we talked about this at one of the meetings that you attended, but it'd be useful to have our own Macomb County Senior Services organization in, and if Sheila Cote can spare the time, it would be valuable.
Mm-hmm. That one's easy to arrange. Other ideas or suggestions?
Is there a website for seniors that they can go to and look all this information up, you know, for what's available?
The county has, on the county's website, you have to go by department. So if you want to learn about veterans, you got to go to the Veterans Department. If you want to learn about senior services, you go to the Seniors Department. We are exploring using some of the economic recovery money, figuring out is there a way to sort of do a one-stop shop. But at this point, you can go to the county website. If you plug in senior services, that will come up. If you plug in health department, that will come up. So the resources are available, and that would be a good thing. We could, when we get the person from senior services to come, they could maybe talk about that more.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way where I could go back into my own community, and I get the seniors asking me, well, what can you do for me? How can I look this information up? It would be nice to come up with a concrete answer for them. This is what we can do. You can go on a website, or we got a brochure for you, something where they can really take an active part in their own community and whatever it is they want to do, or they want to paint, right, or, you know, get in a book club or something like that, that all those ideas are accessible to them.
I think that's a great idea. Kathy and I discussed that and I have had issues with the Senior Services Department. It's like I want a flyer with like all the phone numbers listed, because right now there's all kinds of different phone numbers, and I've created one for myself when I go to speak to senior groups, but it would be great if the county had one. So I'm going to move the Macomb Senior Services to the top of our list so people can tell them that other than me. Kathy?
Julie, now that Jennifer has brought up the internet as a source of information, it reminded me that there is actually a Facebook page for the Older Adult Advisory Committee, but it's gone dormant. And
okay,
perhaps we could talk about rejuvenating it or dropping it. But right now it looks like we're out of business if you look at that page.
All right, we will get on that. Any other ideas of things you'd like to learn about? Marcia?
Well, I also want to second the interfaith caregivers to come here and speak. I think it's a little-known organization that does a lot. Is there any kind of central transportation person who could come and talk about transportation in Macomb County? I know there's a lot of different linkages and different local stuff, but I don't know if one person could come in with a map, and so that each one of us knows what's available in our area, but how, if somebody lives like in the city of Mount Clemens and wants to get to Sterling Heights, what do they do? And so I just maybe a transportation speaker.
Yeah, I'm sure that we can get Fred Barbrett, who is with SMART, who understands all of these connections. So that definitely will go on the list.
We need to know or be able to coordinate. I run into a lot of seniors who do not have support. They don't have family. They don't have neighbors or friends to help them because they're in the same situation. They need help with their chores. They need help with snow shoveling. So they need somebody to help them take their garbage out or trim their rose garden or remove the snow. So that kind of thing, I don't know if there's some way we could get maybe for people have time to serve because they've committed non-violent crimes, non-threatening crimes that they need to do some kind of probation activity. Maybe we could enlist those people to be supportive to the elderly, safe people that are checked out, of course.
Right.
But I think there is a need for that in our community, especially in our area. We have code enforcement who the people feel terrorized by it.
Right.
They're very threatened by it, and they don't have any means to get help to get themselves out of this situation where they've been good homeowners for for their entire life, and all of a sudden they can't keep it up anymore. So that is a need that I see.
Julie?
Jim?
That also, senior services may be able to address that, because there is a huge chore program through the county, and actually Clinton Township, Warren, have various aspects of that. And basically, the chores programs is to help seniors, low-income seniors, with basically just what you just said: grass cutting and snow shoveling, and maybe putting up storm windows in the wintertime. So that is available, and maybe that would emphasize that the senior chore, that senior person of that department could let us know. And I know they do have flyers on it, and that's funded in part by CDBG, and it has been for at least 30 years. Then I have a suggestion on terms of the traffic safety, that if we can look at the Macomb County Department of Roads. Why? Because they're involved with planning, building, rebuilding, traffic lights. You see traffic lights different. They have a kind of a different view now on how, well, they're automating the traffic lights to go with the flow and that sort of thing, and maybe they can give us an idea on that, especially, for instance, from my point of view, Metro Parkway. Metro Parkway used to be 45, 50 miles an hour. Now it's 55, and I would really like to know, as a senior, when I'm on there, and I'm going 55, and they're going 70, 75, why did they do that? Why did they increase that speed? So those types of things, maybe inviting them to talk a little bit about how that affects seniors, because you get all sorts of different speeds. And on top of all that, I've noticed a lot more, well, if I got to go here, I just go here. Or if I just came here today and someone did a U-turn in front of me, and I'm saying, so maybe they have some ideas on how we can look at that a little bit.
Well, and just having a traffic engineer come and talk to us about things like roundabouts and crosswalks, and the new merging thing that I just experienced, where you go left to keep going straight, that one sort of freaked me out a little bit. And I'm sure there are good reasons for all of those things, and it would be helpful to know what they are. That's an interesting idea.
I think it might be good if we had somebody from Parks and Recreation in Sterling Heights come here. I don't know how many people are familiar with Dodge Park, but it's a fantastic park. And for Macomb County, I know we got the Metro Parks, but I don't know of any great park in Macomb County, and there probably are some, but if anybody's been in Dodge Park, it's a fantastic park. They offer a lot of opportunities. I go there almost every day, and there's a lot of elder people that use the trails, and sometimes I think of maybe some better opportunities. I've seen people walk the trails in wheelchair, somebody's pushing them in wheelchairs, but I always thought, opportunity for maybe rides. They have carriage rides at Dodge Park for younger generations and stuff like that for entertainment. But just the tour, I go there, not supposed to, but feed the deer every day. I see deer almost every day.
We won't invite the DNR. Okay.
Where is Dodge Park? Nels, where is Dodge Park?
Dodge Park's in Sterling Heights off of Utica Road. Dodge Park and Utica Road.
Dodge Road. Dodge Park.
Yeah, that used to be a state park in the park, and
it's about 4 miles long.
Mm-hmm.
Just extending to what you just said, it would be great to have that same opportunity in Metro Park. I live right there. I can walk there if I need to. But a lot of seniors who want to be more active, maybe they don't want to just watch a movie, or maybe they don't want to play bingo. They want to be really active, and maybe they want to bike ride there. You could have like a bike ride community, or maybe they want to play volleyball or something like that. It would be nice to get little groups that are available for people that still want to be very active and want to get out and move
meet new people, but they just don't know how to.
One of the two thoughts. One is the DIA. The DIA offers wonderful programming for seniors, including bus rides down there, senior programs at the DIA that I'm not sure everybody knows about. And so I think it would be good to have a representative from the DIA come and talk to us about those sorts of opportunities. It sort of piggybacked on the recreation, keeping our mind stimulated. And then the last meeting the committee had the Macomb Community College Connect program, which I personally didn't know anything about, and which I have since discovered is an amazing resource in this community for senior citizens to learn things and take little courses and workshops and classes, and it might be nice to have them back since we have so many new people here. So I was adding those two to the list. Anybody else have any other ideas?
Yes, Ms. Chair. The VA system, okay, that's missing. There's a big hole in that. You can hear it on TV, and I hear them ads out there, PSAs for money, donating to this and donating to that. We'll give you a T-shirt and a teddy bear. Veterans are different types of people. They're not going to take nothing. In the military, you really don't have anything. So you're lucky you make it out, you know, wars, and you're just out the military plane. Now, the VA hospital, it was like this in the beginning of time. It's very well updated, and it wants to help the veterans more now. Okay. So now for the last 4 years, I've been a veterans advocate. It took me a long, long time to get in a position where I got calls all the time from veterans. And they don't really realize that the VA hospital is the heart of what they're feeling in their bodies. If you can get a spokesperson from the VA hospital to come down here, which I know they will, okay, and they will explain to our committee here, and then we can see where we can go with that to let these veterans out there, especially the senior veterans, they have immediate help because of their age. The Vietnams in particular, the ones before that, that's it. I worked with a lot of World War I, World War II, and Korean vets getting all their compensations. Now the VA wants to give it out, and the veterans aren't going down to the hospital whatsoever. And I tell them, and I walk them through the process of the VA hospital. Okay, that's where I get a lot of work done, through the VA hospital itself. God bless the Macomb County Veterans Administration here. God bless them for what they do. But I go right at the VA hospital. I go right at them because that's where everything is at for the veteran. So if we can have a speaker here to explain it instead of myself explaining it, it'll come across.
No, it's a
and
great
we can
idea.
get that out monthly or whatever and pound it into these veterans' heads out there because they deserve it. Okay? And they're hard people to deal with, but the VA can break in that. They can break that shell off of them. The VA hospital can. Thank you.
Okay, we got a lot of great ideas. Any other? Jump in?
It's an idea, not necessarily someone coming, but with a lot of seniors I deal with, they don't know how to use a computer. And if we could have a print-off listing different resources, whether it's the education through the community or the AAAB1 or Michigan Extension or different programs that they can get education in that they can actually call, because when you hand somebody something and says go online and fill out an application, they kind of look at you like a deer in headlights.
Right.
So if we can maybe print out a brochure and just say, here you go. If you need help, I'll help you. But they can pick and choose what they need on a list.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. I just talked to one of my elderly constituents who was interested in programs that got the groceries brought to her as a drop-off. And the county just said that they would pay for everyone's Ship It membership. Well, that doesn't do her any good because you need a smartphone or a computer to sign up and to order your groceries. So it's like, yeah, that's a wonderful thing, but it doesn't really work. All of the grocery delivery apps that I know really involve you need a computer or a smartphone. So figuring out a grocery delivery system that doesn't involve a smartphone and a computer, we should try to figure that out. I don't know what that is, but people sort of forget the people who need groceries delivered the most can't access it. So, all right, well, these are fabulous ideas. I'm going to get with staff. We're going to start inviting speakers. Marcia's got another idea.
One more. I just want to play off on your DIA thing because a few summers ago, those of us who had been on the commission at that time, we took a tour. We took a bus tour down to the DIA, and we actually did what they do on those Thursdays. And since there's so many new members here, that it would be fun. We get to know each other better and everything. But once you experience the actual going down there and then what there is to do down there. Right now, the bus just drops you off and you do your own thing, which is still wonderful. A free bus ride down and back. And because of that tour that we were on, I now take a group down on a fairly regular basis, but I might not have thought of that. And so this particular group is just thrilled. And how many people the first time we went down on the bus, there was probably 40 people and probably 80% had never been there. So it's just a really good, expansive thing, and they can go from any place in the county. So if we take a tour, it would be fun.
It's a great idea.
As somebody who goes to the DIA regularly, I've been there the last 2 Sundays for movies. I go to the DFT all the time and the other events. One of the best tours is the behind-the-scenes tour. Mm-hmm. Our city council person arranged that for members of the Historic Commission about 1.5 years ago, and that was as many times as I've been in that building for 50 years. I had no idea what was below ground. There's more below ground than there is above, and it's just fascinating how much value is below ground and what you see. So that be interesting. I had another question. Mm-hmm. Don't seniors in high school or high school kids have to do community service anymore?
A lot has changed due to COVID.
Okay.
Before COVID, I would,
without
I'm thinking
hesitation,
about snow
say
shoveling
yes. And taking out garbage cans and things that are outside activities. You were mentioning cutting rose bushes back and stuff. I'm in the Warren Garden Club, and I know I personally do a lot of stuff in my own neighborhood with my own neighbors.
Right. No, before COVID, definitely you could recruit seniors in your community to do help. Since COVID, it's not. Things have just changed, and we got to wait till we get back to a little more normal, I think.
In the Warren Garden Club also, we take care of the one of the courtyards in the Warren Community Center on Arden, and on time, because we're all so old, every now and then the city would send us some helpers, and I think there were people who had committed some minor offenses, mm-hmm. and generally young men, and they were really nice. And they didn't know gardening, but we told them what to do, and they were able to do that for the day. So they were like 3-hour stints that we were there, and that worked out too. I don't know if that's a COVID problem right now or not. And again, that's outdoors. We're all outdoors in the courtyard.
Yeah, I would add to our list 2 things that came to mind as we were talking. One is getting somebody from Prosecutor Lucido's office to talk about senior fraud. Which is a hot topic. I know every time I go out to speak to a senior group, people talk about, we talk about computer fraud and senior fraud, and that's a hot topic, and I'm sure the prosecutor would be happy to send somebody. The other would be the sheriff, frankly. Having the sheriff come talk about his programs for seniors, as well as we can ask him about those kind of work release kind of programs. I don't know if they're operating anymore, or still, or going to in the future, but that would be a great question to ask.
Julie?
Oh.
Go ahead.
To underscore Marcia's point, the OAAC, in addition to having people come into these meetings and the discussions here, that we have in the past had additional activities outside of the meeting, which are optional for members, but there was that arrangement made for the bus to pick up all members of OAAC who wanted to do the DIA tour, picked us up right outside the county building, and went down for a docent-led tour. We also, thanks to Carol Thompson and her resources, had an optional field trip for the Older Michiganians Day in Lansing, and that was both a lot of fun and very valuable. You better believe that all of the representatives in Lansing made sure to come by and meet with our group and hear what we had to say. So perhaps we could survey all of our current membership to see what kind of interest there might be in outside field trips.
I'm all in favor of field trips. I love field trips. Roy?
Quick, you talked about Lucido and the sheriff. The clerk also has a program where he protects.
Yep.
He can protect the title of your house.
Correct.
So all you have to do is contact the clerk. Maybe we could have him in there to give people a process.
Exactly. That's a great idea. All right, we have a long list, probably longer than the number of meetings we have, but we'll figure out what's priority. The first one I'm going to try to get, though, is someone from Macomb Senior Services to come, because they cover a sort of really large umbrella of the concerns that we've talked about today. And we will look into field trips and figure out where we go from there.
Are we going to have all these guest speakers come in? Are we deciding which ones to have, or is this?
We're going to figure out what we can consolidate, how much of this list we can do,
there's a lot of good suggestions here. I'm just curious,
right.
Are we going to pick and choose which one, or are we just going to allow them all come in?
I'm in favor of them all coming in, but
Yeah.
but we need to consolidate a little bit. So we could maybe have the sheriff and the prosecutor and the clerk come in all at once to do a little presentation. I mean, I think we can figure out, staff and I will work with that to figure out who we can get and when we can get them and how we can make this all work.
And Julie, what are the time constraints for this meeting, generally?
We start at 3. We can go as long as we want.
Okay.
Unless you tell me there's another meeting afterwards.
No.
No. So I would like to keep them to an hour, certainly no more than an hour and a half. I value people's time. I don't want to waste it. But there's lots of information. So,
yes, and what you said about Mr. Lucido, he had a radio show going on Sunday. I was listening to it, and it was super. I learned, heck, I didn't even know that kind of stuff was going on in Macomb County.
Right.
Robbing from the older adults. Fraud, my God. It was a great show. So
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd be happy to come over here.
Right. No, I'm sure as well. So staff and I are going to try to figure out how we make this work. But the first one next time is going to be the senior services in Macomb, because they cover a lot of this ground, and that will be very helpful to have us. So at this point, I need a motion to receive and file this discussion.
Second.
And Jim, got it? Any further discussion on this? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I will say that we're going to try, and I'm going to, when you receive your agenda, the speaker or whatever the topic is will be clearly listed. So if you have other people from your community or groups that you know that you think would benefit from learning the information, feel free to invite them. These are public meetings and open, and the more the merrier, I say. All right, then then we have the second round of public participation. This is an opportunity for public participation for those who wish to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes on any issue. Do we have anyone who wishes to speak? Anyone who wishes to speak? Anyone who wishes to speak?
You know what? I want to bring something up.
Well, you're next on the agenda, which is commissioners' comments from members. You're right on top of it, Phil.
Yeah. You know, every time I'm watching a board meeting is on television or wherever, if I'm present, it seems like a lot of the how can I say, the buildup of the subdivisions last 20 years. They produced a lot of people, and these people aged. And what's going on is developers are coming in now, and they're bringing up marijuana shops all over. I've got one across the street from me was a house. Now they want to open up a big farm, I guess. And you'd be surprised the corporations, and I'm sure you are aware of that, big boys. These are the big names that are buying it. And the people that are older, they go up to the microphone and they say, you know, I've been in my house for 40 years, 50 years. I was here when you just had the dirt over here. Now you're bringing in these type of units. They're going to bring our housing down. And these people are looking at them all, and you know, they're just so helpless, the seniors. And that's hurting a lot of seniors nowadays, and I'm sure you're very well aware of that. So where to go with that, that would be up to you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, that's a huge issue, and it tends to be a local issue in that it becomes a zoning issue.
Correct.
And so then you get zoning both for commercial and industrial next to homes. But the other side of that is that you also get zoning that dictates really large lots and really large homes, and seniors who've been there a long time living in small economical homes, all of a sudden their neighborhood has changed. So I don't know how we get at that issue. It's a big issue. I hear about it in Clinton Township a lot. Mm-hmm. That and the fact that we have older suburbs that have much older infrastructure, everything from trees to water to sewer to streets to homes who were built 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 80 years ago. And then we have whole new areas of the county which continue to grow and continue to have new services, new roads, new water, sewer. And it's a balancing act that's difficult to figure out. No one wants to stop progress, but you got to bring people along with you. That's, I think, unfortunate. So I don't know where we go with that, Phil, but we should keep thinking about it.
There needs to be somebody to speak up for the for them seniors like that.
Mm-hmm. Any other comments from anybody on any topic going forward? I would encourage you, if we've all talked about where you're all from and how you're all involved in things, if any organizations you're involved with are having events or fundraisers or any sort of thing you think other people might be interested in, bring flyers, bring notices. We will revive the Facebook page. I think people should feel free to post things on that as well. But let's make this a little more interactive, a little more sharing of information, I think would be really helpful. Anything else? Marsha?
One last thing. Care of Southeastern Michigan and Henry Ford Hospital every year puts together a small calendar called Faces of Recovery. And I think I have enough here for everybody. I'd like to hand them out. Everybody, we have a calendar man or a calendar woman for every month with I think a rather inspirational message for each month, and everybody's in recovery, long-term recovery from substance abuse issues. So I have one for everybody. I think I've got enough here.
Absolutely. And we have little bags for you with some county stuff in it, and we have a stack of directories that have all the county department phone numbers and things in it. If you're going to an event and you need more directories, you should just call the office here, and we'll be able to provide you with more of them. They're very popular. When I go to meetings, I usually bring quite a large stack and hand them all out. I never take any home because they're a very useful resource. So if you're going to any of your community groups, I encourage you to call and get more of them. I think we started you with 5, but please, if you need more, let us know. That being said, the last thing on the agenda is adjournment, but I don't want anyone to leave after we adjourn. We're going to assemble right here to get a group photo that we're going to put on our Facebook page, if nothing else. So I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
No one wants to go. That's a good thing. It's been moved and supported to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Aye.